Alright, good morning. This video was created to help some of my students in my college algebra class dealing with partial sums of an arithmetic sequence. The two formulas that I have drawn on the slideshow right now are the partial sums formula for an arithmetic sequence. I better put for arithmetic. And then the standard form is what we're going to use for this particular problem. So the scenario that was posed to me was they were given that the second term was 8 and the fifth term was 9.5. Also, they wanted to find the sum of the first 15 terms. So the way that you have to set this up is that we have to use the standard form first, because we need to know the first term and the difference. In order for us to solve this, we need those two pieces of information. The one here on the left is saying that when I put the number 2 in, I'm going to get 8 out. It's kind of like an input-output domain and range type of scenario. So if I set this up using the initial standard form of an arithmetic sequence, I find that this 8 is going to go right in that spot. So 8 equals, I don't know the first term. I do know that I put the number 2 in there to get that, and I still don't know the difference. Now I'm going to also do the same thing for the a sub 5 equaling 9.5. So I've got 9.5 equals, I still don't know that first term, plus, but this time I put 5 in there to get it, and I don't know the difference. So when I set that up, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify that up a little bit. So I've got 8 equals a1 plus 2 minus 1 is 1, b, and then over here I've got 9.5 equals a1 plus 4d. Now what you've created is you've created two equations with two unknowns, which then you can utilize either substitution, elimination, or the addition method, whichever your book calls it, where we're just trying to solve for one of the variables. So on another slide here, I'm going to take those same two equations. So I have 8 equals a1 plus d, and then I had 9.5 equals a1 plus 4d. Now I'm going to use elimination just because I like that's my method of choice. Whichever one you prefer, that is up to you. I'm going to multiply every single thing by -1, so that way when I put it underneath here I get -8 equals -a1 minus d. And now when I add straight down, I end up with 1.5 equals the a1's cancel, 3d. And now I divide by 3, and 1.5 divided by 3 is 0.5. So now I have found my common difference. Once I have found my common difference, then I plug this back in to one of the two previous equations. I'm going to choose to plug it in that one just because it's a little bit easier for us to do. So I'm going to take the 8 and set it equal to a1 plus 0.5. Now in order to get a1, I simply subtract 0.5 to both sides, and I end up with 7.5 equals a1. Now that I have that, those two pieces of information, I can now set up a general form of the equation and find the 15th term, because I do need that. So what I'm going to do now is my general form for my equation that I have, or the scenario that I have, is 7.5 is my first term, and minus 1, and 0.5 was my difference. Now I have that, and I wrote that into that general form of an arithmetic sequence, and so that I need to find the question that was posed to me was find the sum of the first 15 terms. Now again, the equation for finding the sum of the first 15 in this case would be 15 equals n a1 plus an divided by 2. Now when that n is standing for right here, this one, is it saying I want what number, or how many terms am I summing? Whether I'm summing 5, whether I'm summing 15, whether I'm summing 100. I can put whatever number I need to in there. And in this case, I'm going to put 15 because I'm summing the first 15. Then the next piece that I need to put in there is A1. I found A1 using that substitution or elimination method, whichever one you used, which was 7.5. But I have not found the 15th term yet. Okay? And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to stick 15 in for that letter N right there. And simply do the math here and figure out what is the 15th term. So again, remember to use your order of operations. The 15 minus 1 should come first, which would be 14. 14 times 0.5 should be 7. 7.5 plus 7 is 14.5. And that is my 15th term. So that is going to go right here. 7.5 plus 14.5 is 22. Again, I'm just simplifying, utilizing my order of operations. 22 divided by 2 is 11. And 15 times 11 is 165. So, as far as finding the sum of an arithmetic sequence, or the partial sums in an arithmetic sequence, those are the formulas that I'm going to do. And with this question in mind, where you're given two of the terms and not the first term and not the difference. Okay, I hope that helped.